It's Dr. Marguerite here. Happy Monday. The internet's already tired, it's glitchy. So I just want to talk about, throw a spotlight on the real hormone that no one talks about. As you know, women in midlife, including myself, we get very worried, don't we, about perimenopause and menopause, and will my hormones balance, and will it be all right, and should I take HRT, and what else can I do to help myself? And of course, these are all very, very natural questions. But the one thing that no one talks about is what sits underneath a wobbly perimenopause or a menopause that's just an uphill battle, and that's the hormone cortisol. So here's the thing, in your body there's kind of a bit of a hormone hierarchy, and again, no one talks about this either, and it goes like this. The hormone that sits at the top is cortisol. The next layer down is your thyroid, and the layer below that is your estrogen, progesterone and testosterone regulation. And if you address them in the right order, they all behave way better. But what we tend to do is we start at the bottom. We start with estrogen, progesterone, and we worry there. But we never think about the layers that sit on top, which is your thyroid and your cortisol. And in fact, I like to call cortisol Queen Cortisol, because it's kind of, she's the queen. She's the one who reigns. She's the one who tells everybody else what to do, how to behave. Everything from how your energy plays out during the day, the quality of your sleep, your mood, how your brain functions. I mean, brain fog, that is classic cortisol symptomatology, okay? And, so many other things, how your weight regulates itself. Do you have to work hard to lose weight, or is it easy? So many things that are down to cortisol physiology. So, high cortisol massively rewires our midlife experience, especially. And that is because of a piece of physiology that is unique to women in midlife. And it is this. In our 20s, 30s, our hormones, our estrogen is primarily produced by our ovaries. As we get into perimenopause, menopause, a handover starts to happen where the ovaries start to say to your adrenal glands, hey, can you just give me a hand here? And eventually the ovaries stop producing their estrogen and actually hand the whole job over to your adrenal glands. And your adrenal glands are going, because they are already working hard pumping out adrenaline and cortisol. So when you have adrenals that are working hard in the cortisol department, which by the way, for most of us, that's the case, then they try, and then you ask them to do the extra job of handling estrogen. They're like going, you've got to be kidding me. Okay, it's what I call the double whammy of midlife. So for women, this is extra significant. And again, not many people talk about this piece of physiology. But we are going to talk about all of this because this is my bag. I am very passionate about putting cortisol on the menu in an intelligent and inspiring way for midlife women. Because once you understand your cortisol physiology, how it is actually responsible for most of the things that you're experiencing, like everything from, waking up tired and groggy. That's a low morning cortisol, by the way, and a poor CAR response. CAR, C-A-R, cortisol activating response. Cortisol awakening response, beg your pardon. So that's that. Feeling, energy crashing by 11 a.m. or the classic 2 to 4 p.m. afternoon energy crash. That is a flipped around cortisol level. Cortisol, when it's high, when it's doing well, it has you feeling activated. Yeah. When it's low, it has you feeling sluggish. But cortisol affects so much more of your body. It affects your gut health. It creates leaky gut. IBS symptoms go crazy. It creates sluggishness in the gut, which means you're more likely to have reflux and indigestion and constipation and all the things that come with that. That then affects your mood and your sleep. It has an effect on brain health, massive effect on brain health. So it creates a little bit of neuroinflammation. And once that process kicks off in your brain, the way your brain is organized, it's quite hard to switch it off, which is usually actually one of the reasons why things like starting HRT, it never sorts out the brain fog. It never sorts out those low energy levels. It never sorts out your gut health stuff. In fact, most women don't even realize all of that is linked. So right now, if you've got a combination of, the classic baseline combination of energy crashes or feeling tired all the time, brain fog and poor sleep, you've got to pay attention to your cortisol.